go. Perfect. Yeah, this backpack is almost too big for me to fit on my bench. I had to swap out to the wide-angle lens to get it all into frame. I'm Joshua Bardwell. This is the new Lumenier FPV backpack. You're going to learn something today. We're going to learn how this backpack stacks up to the competition. When I first looked at this backpack, I noted some distinct similarities to a previous backpack that I really loved. In fact, that backpack was my daily driver for several years. And I don't really have a problem with that. What's the saying? Good artists borrow, great artists steal. And in the world of Chinese manufacturing, stealing just means I hired the same designer or the same factory to make my product as the other guy did. So are you really even stealing at that point? And don't let the fact that this is a Lumenier branded product offend you when I say that Chinese manufacturing. This has the hallmarks of being manufactured in China all over it. So do basically every other FPV backpack that you see. So that doesn't make it stand out. I just want to make sure that you don't think I'm like accusing Lumenier of anything out of the ordinary. But as Chinese manufactured backpacks go, this one seems like it is pretty well made. And that makes sense because the previous backpack that it borrows from was also pretty well made, and that could be a good sign for the whole thing. Let's take a closer look. And I guess we'll start here with this part of the backpack that's facing the camera. This is the back panel, and this is where you would stick a whole bunch of, generally you want to stick drones to the outside of the backpack because they usually don't fit inside the backpack. This one's pretty large, although when you see the inside, you may start to question whether you could reasonably fit a drone inside it. We're actually going to compare this to another backpack that I recently reviewed, which I think is of a little bit more reasonable size. But what we got here on the back panel, first of all, it is a rigid back panel. It's not particularly rigid, but it's not particularly floppy either. Do we have a... Oh, where's the zipper? Where's the zipper? There we go. We got a zipper here, and this zipper actually opens the main panel to the inside of the bag. So one of the distinctions you get with FPV backpacks is, do they open from the front or do they open from the back? And it's a pretty polarizing decision. If the backpack opens from the front, it's a whole lot easier to just set it down, lay it down, flop it open, and have all your stuff, especially if you have drones mounted to this back flap. If you have drones mounted to this back flap, you just set it down on its back, you flip it open, the drones are sort of laying on the ground, but who really cares? Drones get crashed into the ground all the time. Other backpacks like the Rotor Riot bag, which open from the back, the idea is that you don't want to take and get your back and your shoulder straps. This is the part that touches your body, and you're just going to lay it down in the ground, lay it down in the asphalt dust. You're going to lay it, get it all messy, and then you're going to put it on, and then you're going to cover yourself in all that schmutz. So backpacks that open from the back, you put this side on the ground, but then the downside for me, and to me, I prefer front opening bags, although many backpacks that I really like are back opening, and I just deal with it. The problem with a back opening bag is that when you put this down, if all your drones are here, then it's laying on the drones and it doesn't lay flat, it just tumbles around, and that kind of annoys me. So this is a front opening bag, and that means that you will be setting it on the back and getting potentially dirt all over you, depending on how dirty the place you put it down is. But it's going to be a lot easier in terms of like opening it up and getting stuff out of it. We're not going to open the bag yet and look at the inside. I'm going to save that, but I am going to see this is not very rigid. Now that's fine. That's fine, but it's not super rigid. It's a little stiff. We've got MOLLE webbing here, and of course you could strap anything you want to that MOLLE webbing. That's a modular attachment system. Is it technically MOLLE webbing? I mean, it's not, is it? It's not technically MOLLE webbing. I don't know. Could you attach a MOLLE? I think you'll probably attach a MOLLE attachment here. It doesn't look like that's necessarily exactly what it's for. We've got these buckles. These buckles would be used to strap drones or other things to the back of your bag. They are adjustable. We can just slide it out through here. That's going to be a little bit of a pain in the butt, but you can, yeah, there we go. You just push it up and slide it out of the way, and then you could move this up or down as you see fit to adjust this. This is probably where I'm going to leave them. Actually, maybe not, because see, the default layout seems like it makes sense because it's symmetrical, but like this one is pretty useless, right? If I've got it, let me get a drone. If I put this drone on the back here, how am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to take one drone probably, and I'm just going to strap it like this, right? Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. What am I going to take one drone and strap it like this? No, because that drone is now hanging off the bottom of my bag. That's silly. This is pretty useless. It's not doing anything. What I would probably do is I would move this strap up maybe to here, and then that strap perhaps could strap across like that and hold this nicely on the back of the bag. Maybe we could have this strap here and this strap here. Could almost do that anyway. I'd probably move this bottom strap up and this top strap down to make them a little more functional. But the point is, you can decide for yourself. There's a million different places you could put it. You could even theoretically move them in, although I don't know why you would want to do that. So that's our back panel. They are adjustable. They have little retention straps. It's very nice. I always like to see on a backpack the option of having like a stretchy elastic. If you look at the iFlight bag, which I also have and I'm also going to be reviewing, it has both these kind of buckle straps and stretchy elastic bands, and it gives you the flexibility, stretchy, to either just lift the elastic up and stuff the drone underneath it, or use these more rigid straps depending on your needs. It wouldn't be that hard to add them, but it is always nice when the bag comes with exactly what you need. Well, let's come around to this side of the bag. We have a big exterior pocket. This fabric is nice and stiff and tough. We got this strap here. Traditionally, this strap here is used for a tripod. The tripod goes in here. The tripod sticks out the top. This cinches down. It can be used for anything that is big enough that it sticks out the top, and this is just helps cinch it down and retain it. We have side pockets, which unzip here, and I do like that the side pockets are not interfered with by this strap. On some bags, this strap attaches over here and you can't open the pocket without undoing the strap. That's stupid. And I don't know why you would do it that way, but some people do. So then we open the side pouch, and I do want to point out that this side strap here is tied to the door of the pouch. It does not go all the way across. On some backpacks, and this is stupid, and I don't know why you would do it this way, the strap goes across, so you have to open the strap in order to open the side pouch. I'm glad they didn't do it that way. It's kind of dumb when backpack manufacturers do. So we open this up, and this is going to start to look mighty familiar. This reminds me a lot of my Torval drone backpack that was my daily driver for a long time. And that's good because I love the layout of the Torval bag's side pouches. We got two side pouches here with kind of semi-translucent covers. You could kind of sort of not really see what's inside them. You can divvy up your stuff. And we have here a clear mesh pouch, which you can stuff maybe some cables or wires down in. This is like nice and thick. And even this here is padded. Like this is really, it's got some heft to it. They really did not skimp on the fabric. If we come over to the other side, let me turn this around. We got another pouch here, same deal. And we open this one up. Oh, get ready for it. Yeah, oh, look at that. This one has gussets, so it won't fall completely open. And it's got this long pouch here, which you could put, I would put props in there. That's what I did with my Torval bag back when I had it. But you could put whatever you want. Big pouch there. It doesn't have all the organization of the Torval. The Torval had, I think the Torval had more organization up here. I don't remember. It's been a long time. Still, it's mighty, mighty similar. I'm not saying that Torval designed this. I mean, probably they didn't because Torval competes with this bag, but it's mighty similar. They stole from the best. On the back side, we've got the shoulder straps. We have a removable and adjustable chest strap. It can slide up and down, or it just pulls off. I'm not going to pull it off, but you can pull it off. I would probably leave it because sometimes I want a chest strap for that just little extra support as I'm walking through the airport. It is a stretchy chest strap. It's got an elastic extension band here. Set that exactly where you need it. Then we have adjustments here at the top and, of course, adjustments here at the bottom and plenty of padding on the chest straps. We have a waist strap. This waist strap is similar, very similar to the Torval. This is reminding me a lot of the Torval bag. And on the Torval bag, I cut these off. I don't want a waist strap on my backpack most of the time. And it's just in the freaking way the times when I don't need it. There is no way to remove it. Nope, it's sewn on, it's stitched on. There's no way to remove it. This is a miss for me. Like, we could, okay, so like if I wanted to, I could just pull this strap out. I could pull this strap out. I still have these little things flapping around. It bugged me. I cut them off, and it was a little bit messy, and I didn't like it. And it's kind of dumb because, like, how functional is this waist strap really? I don't know. Like, I've gone hiking, like with real hiking backpacks. Yes, I have gone hiking. It was a long time ago. I was in college. I was much lighter and more fit. And a real, like, good frame backpack with a waist strap. The waist strap is super padded. It really cinches down on your hips, and your hips carry the weight. I don't know how much you're going to get off of something like this. Maybe little, because I know there are people out there who swear by the waist strap and love it, but I want the ability to at least remove it, because most of the time I'm going, you know, from security to the gate, and from the gate to the airplane, and from the airplane to the car. I'm not going on a long hike with my bag, and I don't need this kind of support. It's just in the way. Shame. We have a carry handle here. Very nice. It's got plastic. It's grippy, and love it. Now we come to the top of the bag, and we've got this pouch here. I love this style of pouch because, oh, that is the rain cover. Comes with a rain cover. Great. I love this style of pouch because, like, when I'm going through the airport or something, I want to just, like, be able to reach in here and get maybe my Bluetooth headphones, or maybe I'm going into security and I'm just going to stuff my cell phone in my wallet in the top. A really easily accessible pouch that's, you know, just don't have to open the whole bag to get out all my junk. We do have a flexible zipper pouch here. It's not very deep, but it'll hold a little bit of stuff. On the bottom of the bag, basically nothing. We've got this kind of leathery-like fabric, and we've got these bumpers here. What about a laptop pouch? Do we have a, oh, we do. We do have a laptop pouch. Oh, interesting. It's side zip. This is, I'm not sure when the last time I saw this was. A side zip laptop pouch here. That looks plenty big for even like a giant 17-inch laptop, or maybe even bigger. It's freaking enormous. It's basically the whole back of the backpack. Now, I do want to point out here, I'm putting my hand in here and feeling there is a little bit of padding down here. Little bit of padding. It's some kind of like ridged padding designed that if you set your backpack down, you don't bang your laptop. I have seen some bags where the laptop pouch actually ends an inch or 2 or 3 maybe before the bottom of the bag. So the laptop isn't sitting against the bottom of the bag, and it can't hit the ground when you set your bag down. This is okay. It's probably fine because I don't go slinging my bag around when I have my laptop in it anyway, but this is pretty nice. I do want to point out that there are other bags now that have both a laptop and a tablet pouch. This doesn't have that. I mean, you could put both of them in there, but there's no like divider to keep them safe from each other. If you have a really big laptop, this may be one of the only backpacks that is going to accommodate you. Let's go inside the bag. That's the laptop pouch. It opens from the front, Bardwell. I'm so used to back opening bags that I'm opening this one wrong. Okay. Oh, seem like good quality zippers. Are they YKK zippers? SBS zippers. I don't know what that is. Is that as good as YKK? As we open up the flap, we have this large pouch here. It zips from the side, and I always used to store my rainfly in a pouch like this. Again, you could put props in there. They would be easily accessible. You could also put props in the side. It's one big pouch, though. It's got no subdividers. And one of the things I'm seeing about this bag is that it doesn't have a lot of organization built in. So like some of the other bags we'll see have a bunch of little zipper containers. You'll open the side and you'll have like you put one little SD card reader in here and one little USB adapter in there, and you'll zip it up and oh, they're all in their nice little bag. Whereas other bags are like, hey, I'm a bag. You do your own subdivision. And it's not built into the bag. And that's kind of a stylistic decision, which one you like. Some people prefer to just have the bag be the bag and they take all their little containers out. Other people like the bag to sort of be the organization. This is leaning more towards the first one. This folds out and you can't... I've knocked over my soldering iron and made a mess on the floor. That's fine. This is going to lay down, and you can also use this as a work surface, I suppose, although I mean, your drones are going to be here. Yeah, I guess. It's not a great work surface, but you could use it as a work surface. It's just going to lay like this when the bag is open. For the sake of this, can't fold it over because the pocket is in the way. Okay, this is going to be annoying. There we go. Try not to knock my tools over. Here on the inside of the bag, we have the dividers. Actually, I put this divider back in the wrong place. Let me put it how Lumenier represents it on the website. Okay, so what we got is one big open area up on the top on a shelf. You could put a drone there. Some people would put a drone there. I think a 5-inch drone will... Nope, it won't fit. I thought maybe a 5-inch drone would fit with props off, but that's going to be a no. You get a 3-inch up there, but not a 5-inch. So what would you put up there? Well, maybe your controller. Like your controller would sit there, depending on how big your controller is. Would a TX16S fit there? That's a big controller. Let's find out. Can't find my TX16S. I might have given it away. We'll use the Boxer instead. Not quite as big as the TX16S, but if I put the Boxer here, yeah, so like the antenna hangs a little over. If I put it sideways, hangs a little over. If I put it face down, I mean, the bag obviously would close around that, but it doesn't quite. Okay, well, I mean, like the front of the bag actually extends out a little further. So this will absolutely close over that controller and be fine. If you have anything much bigger than a Boxer, I think you're going to end up in trouble. But most people these days are going to smaller controllers anyway. The dividers themselves are... I have sort of a love-hate with the dividers because on the one hand, the dividers are rigid. They have like a plastic insert. Like I can't bend that. If I did, I would break it. It is super rigid. A lot of times the dividers in backpacks are like a stiff fabric or a fat fabric, and they don't have a lot of structure. These have a ton of structure, more structure than any backpack I've ever seen. On the flip side, they are super fat. They're super fat. They're taking up so much space inside the bag, and like it's not that much, but when you compare it to the PGY Tech bag that I've had, I'll show that to you. Actually, you should just go look at the review of the PGY Tech. I've released it, and it has much thinner, lighter dividers. They don't provide as much padding, and they don't provide as much structure, but it feels like there's a lot more room in the bag. The bag that feels just a little more roomy. The other thing I notice about the dividers in this bag, and this might be a deal breaker for me, it's going to be a deal breaker for some people, is the layout is one big fat divider down the middle and then shelves. And we can move these shelves up and down. Like this is just Velcroed on, and we can move these shelves up and down to fit whatever we need. But if we have something wide that needs to lay across the entire bag, our only choice is to put it here, right, on the bottom, or here on the top shelf. That's really limiting. Like my HD0 goggles are super wide. So here is just a standard set of HD0 goggles. Normally I would also have the module on here, and that's what makes them super wide. So just add like another inch or so there, and where's that going to go? They're not going to go here. They can't go in like this. By the way, a normal set of goggles with no antennas, they will go in the deep way, right? They'll go in just like that. That would be fine, I think. I'm okay with that. As long as they don't have antennas on, they'll go in. But they're not going to go like that. It's too wide. If I have the expansion module on these goggles, they can't go in that way. They're going to stick out too far. Where do I put them? Do I put them up here? That's not hardly ideal. That's hardly ideal. Do I put them down here? I guess I'm putting them down there. That's the only full width shelf that I have. And in case you're thinking, well, Bardwell, just put them in vertically. Yes, I could do that. I have to rip this out, and now they go in vertically. Okay, well, now they're sitting deep down in there, right? There's no optimal way to do that. It really feels like the decision to do this exact layout is very restrictive. It almost makes me wonder if I could rip this out and turn it sideways and do a shelf-based layout. They don't picture it that way. I'm going to try it. Is this, coincidentally, not coincidentally, and probably by design, is this shelf just the right width to go across the bag? It is! Oh, my number one complaint, completely defanged, completely de-toothed. Yup. Okay, so now we've turned a negative into a positive. What they've done is they've said, okay, you want to do it this way? Be my guest. And that is probably the way that I would do it. It fits my brain better. But also, if you want to do it the vertical way, you can do it the vertical way. Okay, that's pretty slick. So then we take these dudes and we put them in here, like so, right? And then like we could have my goggles. Ta-da. Another divider here. We could put this. Oh, yeah. Okay. What about this guy? Go there. What's going to go on the top shelf? I'm not sure. It doesn't feel like the top shelf. I guess that's what's going to go on the top shelf. And we got this space over here and kind of nothing to do with it. It's just going to flop around. I don't know about that. It always takes me a little while to settle in to a new backpack and figure out exactly how I'm going to lay it out. So that's the right height for that shelf, or that divider. This divider here. We've got these dividers making little pouches here. We've got a thin shelf here for the controller. What about, oh, this. Yes, this can go here. This is going to be perfect. Maybe not perfect exactly, but adequate. Oh, yeah. There's our controller, goes there. Got pouches here. We got this big area up here, which because it doesn't have dividers, is just going to be a big loose sort of mess of things flopping around. That doesn't seem ideal. I would put batteries down here on the bottom because I like to load the heavy weight down at the bottom. Oh, there's a battery bag. Comes with a battery bag. Does not appear. It's just maybe that's a tool bag. No, that's a tool bag, not a battery bag. It's got these snaps so it can attach to the outside. That's slick, and it's got Velcro. What if the tool bag goes in here? That's okay. It's still a lot of wasted space. Well, I don't have all the answers for you, but I think you see how it could sort of play out. I don't love the Velcro. I've seen much stronger Velcro. Like this is it's just not gripping very hard. On my Rotor Riot bag, I bought a roll of Velcro, just the hooks, and it sticks to this fabric, and I cut strips of it, just reinforce the corners with it, and I put that on my Rotor Riot bag on every single intersection, and it made it much, much stronger and held. This is standard Velcro for a bag, but standard is not that high. And it's, especially as it ages, like the day you get it, it'll kind of be okay. And then as it ages, it's going to get worse and worse. And, I don't know. Just reinforce it with this Velcro and you'll be okay, I guess. I got to point out, in case you missed it, that the dividers have these little straps on them. So I guess there's a little bit of internal organization that you could, there's I'm not sure what you're going to do with that. Something like someone will come up with something, but like if I was to try to put tools in it, well, that's not going to do much. It might be better if they had additional stitching so that you could put one tool, two tools. I never do that either. I always want my tools in a bag because I'm going to take the tool bag out of the bag and work on my drone, and I might not be at the backpack when I'm doing that. But I don't know. They're there. Before we wrap up this review, I want to show you guys this bag. This is the bag that I'm currently using as my daily driver, and I don't know if you can tell, it is currently packed for a trip that I am leaving on tomorrow. I'm not going to tear it all apart for you. I've got a whole review of this bag on my channel. Why is that unstrapped? But I do want you to just compare the size of the Lumenier bag with the PGY Tech bag. That's this one. And there we go. Like, they don't look that different when I look at them in camera, but the Lumenier bag feels much more, yeah, there we go. Now they're on the table. The Lumenier bag is like 2 inches maybe taller and not really wider, but it's definitely, oh yeah, it's definitely deeper. It's definitely much deeper. The Lumenier bag is a bigger bag. overall. And I say this as someone who flies out of Knoxville. Knoxville is a relatively small city, and I never get one of the big planes going out of Knoxville. I always get a small plane with the little dinky overheads. The PGY-TEC bag will fit in the overhead easily. My Rotor Riot bag, I had to squeeze in the overhead, but I could usually get it to go. The Lumenier bag, I think I would struggle to get it into the overhead of one of those little planes. And also the Rotor Riot bag and the PGY-TEC bag, if I have to, I can squeeze it into the seat in front of me, and technically it spills out a little bit, but I've never had an issue with the flight attendant saying, "I'm sorry, sir, you can't do that." Whereas the Lumenier bag, I don't think it's going to be over the line where it's not going to fit. I don't think an airline would say, "Hey, you can't bring that. That's too big to be a carry-on." It is within the carry-on size requirements, but just practically speaking, it's a bigger bag. That does mean that it has more space inside it. But I'm not convinced that you actually are going to get more stuff into the Lumenier bag compared to some of these other bags. Number one, because of the way they've done the layout, I think the layout is kind of forcing you to waste some space. And number two, because the dividers themselves are so fat and thick, they've got all this padding and all this structure to the bag, and it makes the bag kind of bulk up. But it also means that there's a lot more bag there for relative to the amount of stuff that it's carrying. I'm going to open this bag up for you. I know this is a review of the PGY-TEC, of the Lumenier bag, not this PGY-TEC bag, but this is my layout for the trip. I'm literally packed to go on a trip for my PGY-TEC bag. You can see the dividers are a lot thinner, and they're also more flexible, which means that I don't have as much structure and as much padding, but it does mean I have a lot more flexibility with exactly how I lay them out, and I think I'm making more efficient use of the space. I do want to say, I have to acknowledge, the additional depth of the Lumenier bag means that you can put goggles in longwise, and you can't do that with this bag. You have to put them in sideways, or I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that, so you maybe make a little bit of an advantage there. All right, well, if you decide that you love this bag, and this is the bag for you. It comes in around $200, that's just basically the going price for an FPV specific backpack. It's comparable to a camera bag. They typically come in around $200 or $300. So $200 is kind of toward the bottom of the typical range. For the quality you get, for the material, and for what feels like the quality of the construction and the durability, obviously it's brand new. I haven't even taken it on a trip because I'm sticking with my PGY-TEC for this trip. It's tried and true. But it feels like it's pretty durable, pretty strong, and for $200, it seems like it's a pretty good value. If you decide it's for you, there's a link in the video description below, and it's an affiliate link. You can click that link, and I'll get a small commission every time you click the link and make any purchase at the affiliated vendor. Whenever you do your shopping, just click one of those affiliate links. It's an easy way for you to help out the channel. On the other hand, if you might be a little bit on the fence, I'm actually going to suggest you, number one, check out my review of the PGY-TEC bag. It's not perfect, but so far it has taken over from the Rotor Riot bag, which was my daily driver for a long time. Hey, the only constant is change, right? I'm going to put a card on screen with a link to my PGY-TEC bag review, as well as my Rotor Riot bag V2 review. Those are my last two daily drivers, and I think you want to check them out. They're going to be right for some. They've all got a lot going for them. I love those bags. I just kind of cycle between them because I want some novelty. I don't see this one becoming my daily driver, though. It's good. If I received it as a gift and I was a typical FPV pilot, I would love it. But given that I have other options available to me, I think other ones, especially that I fly in small planes, I think that is not going to make this one rise to the top. Here are those cards that I promised you. I'll see you in that video. Thanks for watching.